Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to jump into the details.
Okay, strap yourselves in because today we're climbing into the cockpit of the F-35A Lightning II. This is one of those topics you hear everywhere, prepping for a meeting, and suddenly the F-35 is the thing to know.
Or maybe you're like me, just can't resist a good deep dive into some serious tech.
That's what we're here for. We've got these excerpts from an official F-35A capabilities document. So think pure facts, figures, the real deal.
Time to go from F-35, yeah, I've heard of it, to actually knowing what you're talking about.
Exactly. Let's start with the F-35A's mission. What is this thing built for? Replacing those reliable but aging F-16s and A-10s.
Yeah, gotta bring air power into the next generation, right?
The document mentions this really cool helmet-mounted display. Like straight out of a sci-fi movie, the pilot gets all this intel right on their visor.
Oh, it's not just cool, it's completely changing the game.
How so? I mean, is it really that big of a deal?
Think about it. Instead of looking at all these different screens and gauges, the pilot has this single integrated view of everything going on right in their line of sight.
Okay, so threats, navigation, weapon status, all laid out right there.
Exactly, and all overlaid onto their real-world view. So much faster decision-making, better targeting, and honestly, helps keep them safe.
It's all about having the right info at the right moment.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The document mentions information dominance. What's that all about?
Yeah, that's a term that gets thrown around a lot. What does it actually mean for the F-35A?
It's about having a much better understanding of the battle space than the other side. The F-35A isn't just flying around, it's like a flying sensor platform, gathering and processing tons of data constantly.
So it's not just what the pilot sees through the fancy helmet.
Right, exactly. It's constantly sharing that information with other aircraft, ground forces, everyone.
Everyone's in the loop.
Yeah, creates a real-time common picture for everyone involved. Faster decisions, more coordination, huge advantage tactically.
Makes sense. Now, this document also mentions that 9 countries were involved in developing the F-35A. Talk about international cooperation.
Yeah, and you can imagine developing a fighter jet this advanced. It takes a lot of resources. Pooling all that expertise, tech, and cost sharing was crucial.
I mean, usually defense tech is pretty competitive, right?
Yeah.
What were the benefits of having so many partners on this project?
It wasn't just about building a great plane for one country. It was about strengthening alliances, making sure everyone can work together smoothly.
Interoperability, right?
Exactly. And that's more important than ever these days. So yeah, the F-35A is a technological wonder, but also a symbol of international cooperation.
Definitely. Okay, this document keeps mentioning something called ALIs, and it sounds like it's pretty important for keeping these jets in the air.
Oh yeah, ALIS is essential. Think of it as the F-35A's digital brain. It's this crazy, sophisticated logistics and maintenance system, always monitoring the health of the aircraft.
Like a supercharged onboard mechanic.
That's a good way to put it. ALS keeps track of everything from engine performance to even tiny wear and tear on parts, predicts potential issues before they happen.
That's wild. So proactive maintenance, less downtime, and always ready for action.
Exactly.
And this ties into that statement we saw. Logistics support accounts for 2/3 of an aircraft's life cycle cost. Keeping these things flying is a serious investment.
No kidding. ALS helps streamline everything, keeps costs down, and makes sure the whole F-35 fleet is ready to go.
All right, on to the ACE capabilities and aerial refueling. What's so special about those?
So ACE stands for Agile Combat Employment. Basically, the F-35A can operate from all sorts of rough locations, even forward bases with limited infrastructure.
Not your typical fighter jet tied to massive air bases.
Nope, not at all. And then you add the aerial refueling, and it's got this incredible range and flexibility.
Deploy to remote locations, refuel in midair, conduct missions almost anywhere.
Exactly. Adaptable, agile, a real game changer in today's world.
The photos in this document are amazing. Seeing these jets taking off from snow-covered runways, refueling in midair, really impressive.
Shows you how adaptable it is, right? Diverse, challenging environments, no problem. A real advantage in today's unpredictable world.
And then there's the speed. Mach 1.6, over 1,200 miles per hour.
Speed and agility, crucial for air superiority. And the F-35A has both. Not just fast, it's incredibly maneuverable. Outmaneuver opponents in a dogfight, no problem.
Okay, we've covered a lot already. The mission, the helmet, information dominance, global reach, the speed. What else do we need to understand about the F-35A?
Well, we haven't even touched on the sensor systems, the electronic warfare capabilities, the stealth technology. That's where things get really interesting.
All right, sounds like we've got a lot more to unpack.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started.
Let's talk about those sensor systems and stealth tech. The document mentions this Electro-Optical Distributed Aperture System, or DS. Sounds pretty high-tech.
It is. Basically, you've got 6 infrared cameras all around the aircraft.
Okay, giving the pilot a full 360 view.
Day or night, doesn't matter.
So, like having eyes everywhere, what's the advantage of that in combat?
It completely changes how you understand what's happening around you. The pilot can see missiles coming from any direction, track other aircraft.
They can even see ground targets.
Yep. And they don't even have to move the aircraft to do it.
That sounds almost too good to be true.
Well, it's not just about seeing, right? It's the processing power behind it. The DAS system can actually identify threats, prioritize targets, even tell the pilot to take evasive action.
Wow, all in real time?
In a fraction of a second.
Like having a co-pilot in the cockpit, analyzing everything and giving you advice.
Exactly. A real force multiplier. Enhances the pilot's awareness and decision-making.
Now, there's also mention of the Electro-Optical Targeting System, or EOTS. Is that different from DAS?
Yeah, DAS is for overall awareness. EOTS is more focused. For long-range target identification and tracking.
Oh.
Combines high-resolution imaging with infrared sensing. The pilot can identify targets from really far away.
Like a super-powered set of binoculars built into the plane.
Exactly. Detect and engage targets way beyond visual range. Huge advantage, whether it's air-to-air or air-to-ground.
Let's talk about stealth. It's one of those buzzwords. But what does it really mean for the F-35A? How does it work?
Basically, it's about minimizing the aircraft's radar signature. Makes it really hard for enemy radar to detect it.
So not invisibility, but making it really, really hard to see.
Right. It's about delaying detection. The F-35A can get closer to its target before being detected.
That's sneaky. But are there concerns that, enemies could develop technology to counter stealth?
It's a constant back and forth, stealth and counter-stealth, but the F-35A is designed to adapt. Software and hardware upgrades, to stay ahead of the curve.
So it's not a static technology, always evolving.
Exactly.
What about these tactical data links the
Yeah.
document mentions? What are those and why are they so important?
Okay, so those are secure communication systems. Let the F-35A share information in real time with everyone. Other aircraft, ground forces, command centers.
Creates this network on the battlefield.
Exactly. Everyone has the same picture. Faster decisions, more coordinated operations, a more effective fighting force.
This document really emphasizes the F-35A's engine, the Pratt & Whitney F-135. What's so special about it?
It's a beast. Most powerful fighter jet engine ever built. 43,000 pounds of thrust.
Wow, that's a lot of power. What does that mean for the F-35A's capabilities?
Speed, maneuverability, everything. Supersonic speeds, complex maneuvers, no problem.
But it's not just about raw power, right? Fuel efficiency must be important too.
Absolutely. And the F-135 delivers on that front too. It's incredibly fuel efficient. Long missions without needing to refuel.
Okay, so we got the sensors, the stealth, the data links, this powerful engine. The F-35A is clearly a technological marvel. But what was the big idea behind it? What were they trying to achieve with this aircraft?
It's really about versatility. They needed an aircraft that could replace a whole bunch of older jets in the U.S. and allied air forces. A single platform that could handle all sorts of missions.
A jack of all trades, but hopefully master of all too.
Exactly. Adaptable, capable. Dominate the skies, provide support to ground troops, even conduct electronic warfare.
And of course, we can't forget the international collaboration aspect. 9 countries involved.
Essential for sharing costs and making sure everyone's on the same page. The F-35 is a real testament to what international partnerships can achieve. Shared security goals,
Okay, we've talked a lot about the tech. But what's it actually like to fly this thing?
The cockpit is designed for maximum situational awareness. The helmet, the sensors, the controls. It's like the plane becomes an extension of the pilot.
Wow. A level of control and awareness we couldn't even imagine a few years ago.
Right. Empowering the pilot to make the best decisions possible, especially under pressure.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. The F-35 program is this huge mix of technology, collaboration, and strategy.
Yeah, we've only scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore.
Definitely. Wow, we've really gone deep on the F-35A Lightning II. From its mission and all those incredible capabilities to its role in the future of air combat, it's clear this is more than just another fighter jet.
It really is a game changer.
As we wrap up, let's try to, pull out some key takeaways for our listeners. What are the big picture insights they should walk away with?
I think the most important one is that the F-35A represents a fundamental shift in how we think about air power. Not just an upgrade, it's a completely new approach to warfare.
Yeah, throughout this whole deep dive, we've talked about it as a force multiplier, a platform for information dominance, a symbol of international cooperation. It's almost like it's, I don't know, than just a fighter jet.
That's a really good point. It's designed to operate in this, networked information-driven battle space, integrating air, land, and sea capabilities for that decisive advantage.
And that integration isn't just military, right? We talked about how the F-35A can share information with civilian agencies. That seems super important for things like natural disaster response or even counterterrorism efforts.
Absolutely. Gathering, processing, and sharing real-time information has implications far beyond the traditional battlefield. It's a valuable asset for all sorts of security challenges.
So it's not just about winning dogfights, it's about having this flexible platform that can handle the really complex security challenges we face today.
Exactly. It's a shift from a platform-centric approach to a more network-centric approach, recognizing that information, interoperability, collaboration, those are just as crucial as speed and firepower.
Which brings us back to that global aspect of the F-35 program. 9 countries involved in its development and so many more acquiring it. What does that say about the future of air power on a global scale?
I think it shows a growing understanding that interoperability and collaboration are essential for everyone's security. It's a real testament to the power of international partnerships working together to maintain global stability.
Like a global investment in a common platform,
Yep.
a shared understanding of how air power needs to evolve.
I like that. The F-35 program is a big step toward a more integrated and collaborative approach to global security.
Well, I think we've done a pretty good job navigating the complexities of the F-35A Lightning II. We've covered its capabilities, the strategic implications, even those global dynamics.
Agreed. It's been a fascinating discussion.
As always, though, with any deep dive, we've only just scratched the surface. There's always more to learn, more to explore, more to understand.
That's the beauty of it.
So until next time, keep those minds curious.